This is Mr. Cygnus back again for an audio commentary copyrighted by WCReplays.com. I bring to you guys today a very special audio commentary that's been many years in the making, and I truly hope you guys enjoy it, as a lot of time and effort went into it. But with no further ado, I introduce to you guys my good friend Fury. So go ahead, Fury, why don't you go ahead and tell him a little bit about yourself.
Hey man, hey everybody. I'm former 4K member Fury, and I'm here with Mr. Cygnus to do a dual cast that we've both been dying to do for a very, very long time, like 3-4 years maybe.
Oh hell yeah, man! I know it's been so long, and the thing is that life gets interesting. You've got your big career back then, all the girls and stuff, and beating them off with the stick, and me just doing my shit, and then finally, it's nice that we get together and finally do this, because it's been a long time in the making, and I'm real happy to do this. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from this audio, because there's just a wealth of information that you can give to not only just the average player, but even some experts out there, because being that you're retired now, it's not like you have to hold back, it's not like you have to keep anything secret, because you don't have any big matches coming up. It's not like any opponent is going to try and pick your brain for your information. So yeah, man, it's good to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. It's gonna be a blast, I think. Hopefully I can help some people.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, exactly. I know you will. I mean, we've got some questions that we put out there about a week ago, opened up a thread for everybody that, if they saw it, that they can ask a few questions. And what's nice is we spent the last couple hours reviewing replays and bouncing ideas off each other, and I think it's really going to be a benefit to everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be some questions that I haven't already answered in the huge thread. If some of you are not aware of it, it's in the TFT General Strategy Forum.
Yeah, definitely. If there's anything that we didn't cover today, there's definitely months, if not years, of information that have been put out there that you guys can always double check in that forum. That's always definitely a possibility. But yeah, we're going to get a few things going today, a few hand-picked games by Fury himself. I'm pretty sure that it's been a while since I've played too, but I might learn just a lot today as well. So we're going to go over all kinds of things today, all kinds of different questions, and just get an idea of what's going on. So with no further ado, I say we load up the first game. It's going to be, I believe, let me just tab into it. It's going to be... Oh, that's right, Destroy You versus SK Lin. So it's going to be an undead versus orc game to start out with. Fury, I know we just went over this game ourselves, but maybe you can tell everybody just a brief, quick overview of like what we might be seeing in this game.
Well, without knowing what we're gonna see, generally in a orc versus undead matchup, I would say pretty much Death Knight against Blade Master, and either ghouls or fiends start for the undead.
Yeah.
But this game is a little special, as you will all soon see.
Yeah, most definitely. This game it's not only a really interesting game that's a little less mainstream, but you're going to be able to see a lot of things that, as an undead player, how to counter just Imbalance Master, with all of his wisdom and critical strikes and raping. It's almost a nightmare for any undead to go against. But the good news is even if you don't play undead, there's going to be tips for everybody today. So I think with all that said and done, I say we get this replay unpaused, and we'll take turns bouncing back some ideas and talking about general strategy and how to win versus imbalance. So I say we unpause this game in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So,
alright.
I guess I forgot to tell you guys that we're going to pause at the 2-minute mark, but I'm sure that you're going to read that in the front page, so that's perfectly fine. But looks like we have something a little different. Fury, have you ever seen someone use the Shadow Hunter first versus you in a game?
No, actually, I've never played against the Shadow Hunter first. Not in 1-on-1 at least. I've been tower rushed with Shadow Hunter and Serpent Wards in 2v2 a few times.
So I just want to ask you a pretty important question. I mean, have you ever seen a orc player ever not pick the Blade Master?
Yeah, man. I've seen some Farseer action, but it's mostly Rotterdam. It's only Rotterdam.
Oh, exactly. I mean, when they picked the Farseer, did the game accidentally name it the Blade Master and then realize that... I think they should just take all heroes out of the altar and just make it Blade Master only, like anyone else is going to pick anything different.
Yeah, for sure. But this is actually quite interesting, that is harassing with Hex to stop the Undead from getting the gold he normally gets. To put him off. It's kind of funny and interesting at the same time.
Oh, exactly. You know what's really funny is, you know, I actually wasn't watching the game at the moment when you were observing it when you first started it, but I remember listening to you on Ventrilo, like, oh man, look at this, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe it. The Hex lasts forever.
Yeah, I don't know the exact time of the Hex, I've forgotten it, but it has to be like 10 or 15 seconds, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just, to prevent somebody from gathering that much gold is really a funny thing, you know?
Yeah.
Very wise use of the Shadow Hunter.
Imagine being the Undead right now and you see Shadow Hunter first. You must be thinking it's a joke.
Yeah, or some sort of a tower rush. It's almost got to throw off your psyche a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But this is not really uncommon. Moon used to do it all the time. Moon used to do it against me in a televised game. He would go the Alchemist hero first, when the hero was new. Like, exactly when the hero was new. The patch was released like a week. So, a million thoughts went through my head, thinking what kind of crazy strategy is he using. And I'm sure this Undead thought the same.
You know, would you say it's pretty true that when you go to play against somebody and you see something very much out of the norm, does it kind of ultimately change your strategy or an outlook for the entire game? Does it kind of play on you a little bit?
I think it depends on what kind of player you are. For me, yeah, sure, because I always try to counter my opponent, and if I encounter a strategy I've never played against before, you don't really know what to make, and you don't really know what he will be going as well.
Exactly, I know. I mean, and when you're playing against Orc and you see the Blade Master, I mean, do you just alt QQ, or do you lie a little bit, you know? What usually goes through your head?
Well, every time I play versus the Blade Master, I die a little bit inside, so
yeah.
I'm pretty much dead inside.
That's so true, man. But you know, I guess sometimes it's just... I remember we were talking about something, how you were just so sick and tired of seeing Orc that you just decided, screw it, I'm going to try something different, and that's when I believe you invented that tower rush tactic.
Oh yeah, it was Season 6 Battle.net finals, like top 100 ladder. I was just losing so much against Orcs, so one game I just thought, fuck it, I'll try to tower rush at tier 1, bring a Blightstone and sell my TP. And it actually worked quite nicely.
Yeah.
I actually even beat Grubby with it, so it was pretty awesome back then.
Yeah, I bet you most people were sharing that opinion as well. Oh, the fucking Blade Master, fucking I'm gonna play Orc. That's how you counter the Blade Master. You pick your own.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's too funny.
And the funny thing about that strategy was that the best counter at the time was Farseer.
No kidding.
So if I saw Farseer, I was actually sad back then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that the Farseer was a widely used hero, but just people have learned to really adapt and just nullify him. I mean, if you have any sort of dispel whatsoever, it's almost useless.
Yeah. And as you can see here, this game doesn't lack a Blade Master, but it was the second hero choice.
Yeah, which...
So it's very unusual.
I'm sure you could pick the Blade Master.
I've never seen the Blade Master picked second.
Exactly. You could probably pick him as a third hero and still win.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It looks like...
Look at this, it already has its first clause.
Oh, hell yeah. And he picked Critical Strike first, which is interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything as cool as that skill right there. But, you know, it just really goes to show you that sometimes in early game, doing something a little different can really kind of play on the psyche of your opponent and kind of throw them off of their usual strategy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Often when you do a game, I mean, do you sometimes go for an early game harass and hoping that you can maybe just stomp on your opponent for a while and try and end it early and get into their head a little bit? Or do you sometimes choose to go maybe the more conservative route and try and do some safe creeping?
Oh, it always depends in the matchup. but versus Orc, I mostly try to creep in the beginning to get a level 3 blade mod.